What's poppin', y'all? Lil Yachty is responsible for a lot in the decade that he's been in the rap game. Well, over a decade, actually, because he came into it in 2015. Amongst that is Jumbotron-ish poppin' and a lot of the work he did for Her Loss in his own music. But recently, he just sent hip-hop and pop into a tailspin with this Sexyy Red clip that he posted in the studio. Now, I can't play it for you guys because they are not playing about the music. But as you can see on your screen, dark, red room. I mean, this is aura right here. Yeah, in the background is the beat to Beat It by Michael Jackson from the Thriller album playing. Actually, is that from the Thriller album? No. It is. There's no way. I'm not doubting myself. It will be embarrassing if I'm wrong, but I'm 100% sure I'm not wrong on that. So she's rapping over it, and she's talking about, oh, just eat it, and she's talking about her box. So this starts spreading. There's a lot of talk about Sexyy Red being there's this new ongoing meme of CIA plants, and really Rakai took that role, although Rakai does seem just like a kid. I think Rakai's appearance as well as his belligerent nature, people are going in on him a little bit too hard because that guy does not do any drugs. That guy is not, he's gooned out, sure, like he thirsts after chicks and that, but he's a young kid. He's 16, 17. That's kind of normal, but he's not even smoking weed, which, he's not doing anything really, really, really bad or illegal or violent, which is a lot more than you can say for rappers, especially drill rappers, like not King Von, but who was the other young guy? That's Tay-K, right? Tay-K was significantly worse. But Sexyy Red, while she's still been managing 18 million monthly listeners, we haven't heard from her for a long time. And this was probably going to just be a nothing burger. That's what I thought, at least. And I just scrolled past it and I was like, oh, okay, cool. But this turned into a mess. Now, Lauren LaRosa, who works for The Breakfast Club, she said the following: I exclusively spoke to a spokesperson for the Michael Jackson estate on Sexyy Red's recent cover of Beat It. Keep in mind, this song was never teased. This song was never said to release. This song was never dropped as a loose track on SoundCloud or YouTube. None of that. This is her messing around in the studio, which this is something rappers do all the time. Like, for example, Lil Yachty Poland, that was not supposed to be a song. It just happened to leak. He was messing around in the studio, and then he was like, oh, shoot, this is going crazy. I guess I gotta record a song to this. And then he drops a full version. But rappers have thousands of songs. These people are, if they're serious about their craft, they're in the studio every single day making music, and they release less than 100 songs a year. Really, some less than 40. So there's a lot of music being made. Even XXXTentacion, for example, he didn't have much finished songs, but you saw, and he didn't have very long of a career either, but you saw a bunch of these like 30-second demos, him just like top lining on the track, things like that. So Sexyy Red was probably having fun getting ready to record a real song. And this just went nuclear. And he said that they were clear that the use of the music was unauthorized. Yeah, no-ish, it's unauthorized. They're playing it in a studio. This was never released. They would have to clear it, and the song would have to exist, which it doesn't. A spokesperson for MJ's estate tells me, we were totally unaware of this. The use of the music is unauthorized. The estate definitely didn't seem happy about the cover at all. They didn't really say much. And then, who else addresses this? Imani, who is somebody that works with the Joe Budden Network and is also a musician himself, he would come out and say, got MJ's lawyer on speed dial for anyone remaking or making a mockery out of Michael Joe Jackson's music. Cease and desist season, LOL. I don't know what involvement he has or if he's actually tapped in, but as we would find out very soon in a couple of tweets, this was a clout chasing session, because he would say, not playing with y'all. We got a movie to prep for, dropping April 24th. It's cease and desist season for anyone playing with MJ music. And he's calling John Bronca MJ Estate, which I don't even know if that person is. I don't know who that person is. And then he goes on to say, wait, some of y'all think I actually have MJ's estate lawyer phone number? I bet. I got some other jokes to get off, and y'all better make sure you believe them too. So really what happened here is that the narrative didn't go how this guy expected it to. A bunch of people were like, yo, this is loser behavior. This song didn't come out. She's having fun. The amount of remixes that have been done of Beat It with parody versions over the past 2 decades, just on YouTube, on SoundCloud, you can't count them actually. There are hundreds, if not thousands of them. And yes, these people are not allowed to make money off of it. it. They're not allowed to, they have to clear it if they want to release it and collect on it. But Sexyy Red did nothing different than all of these people. She just happened to be a little bit more famous and I guess a little bit more disliked. But when something like this doesn't turn out in Imani's favor, or anybody that does this, they pull the old, I was just trolling, guys. You seriously thought I had that person's number? However, if people were on his side, do you think he would have said, yo, I was just trolling, guys? No, he would have let it rock out. Now, somebody who unexpectedly decided to show full support to Sexyy Red was none other than Akademiks. And I think he's being a bit contrarian here because probably a lot of people that he doesn't like are coming for her head top. But I'm going to play you guys that clip right now.
Red is one of the CIA greatest plants. Like, send her to the black community to ruin everything. And I disagree. I think this is Sexyy Red being Sexyy Red. I think this is why people love Sexyy Red and hate her. This is why she's popular. She's going to give you unapologetically her. She's ghetto. She's ratchet. She's crass. She's obscene. She's all over the place. And yes, while you might have some reverence for the king of pop, Michael Jackson, and his legacy, and you're saying, yo, the song, when you think about not only the album Thriller, but you think about the song Beat It, you think about like really this nostalgic look back at amazing music and amazing production, even amazing music videos. Nah, where was Sexyy Red? Like, I've always said Sexyy Red got some of the most profound ratchet lines in history. I'm looking for the like that. Come on. Shake that. Bow, bow, bow. Come on. Like, one thing I like about Sexyy Red, and I don't care what none of y'all say. Sexyy Red is one of those, they say don't judge a book by its cover. With Sexyy Red, the book is a cover, okay? She's exactly what she presents herself to be. She's exactly how she acts, she thinks. She doesn't compromise. And there's a part of kind of like, that unapologetically being you, whether it's ignorant, whether it's being obscene, whether it's just twerking, whether it's being she's one of the first girls. That's why I think the city girls and these other women got exiled out of the game because they were pretending to be. She kind of came out. She's like, no, I'm a.
Yes, Sexyy Red is certainly authentic, and she certainly made people like the city girls retire. Like, for instance, when you hear a recent interview clip of JT talking about her being in a relationship with Lil Uzi Vert, you see a completely different person from the JT that got locked up. You see a lot of maturity. You see a lot of her shedding what she labeled as just disrespecting men as a whole, and that's what she grew up on. I'm going to play you guys a clip of that right now.
I grew up in environments where I heard women cuss men out like dogs. I learned a lot of decorum when I got into the industry and what's right and what's wrong because I grew up wrong. I grew up seeing women scrape, violate men. And that's why I was no men in the house, okay? You get what I'm trying to say? So now it's all making sense. Like, my auntie answered the phone for a man, hang up, talk about him like a dog, disrespect him, bring my money, do this, do that, I don't care. And then you will look back and be like, oh, okay, I get it. It was like no real balance there. It was very toxic. My first song is called That. Like, girl, what? I had to learn in a relationship how to be in a relationship. This is my first real relationship. Like, I live with this person. I exist with this person. Before that, I was dating. So if I'm arguing with somebody, they're not in my face. So yeah, I'm going to tell you, don't play with me. Because what you going to do? You're not in my face. Click. And I saw my mama do it. And I saw my auntie do it. That's how I saw men be treated growing up.
So listening to this, you're like, whoa, this does not sound anything like Sexyy Red, the girl that was rapping about F my baby daddy. Meanwhile, she was pregnant and the guy had the ankle monitor? The guy that she was, I don't even know who Sexyy Red's baby daddy is, to be honest. So Sexyy Red, I think she is absolute chaos. But I think what makes Sexyy Red likable is that it doesn't feel like she has a venomous or evil or dark nature and spirit to her. And I think that's what makes her more likable than, let's say, a Megan Thee Stallion, for instance. Number one, Megan Thee Stallion is complete cap because she's cooking it up. She's chefing it up. She doesn't even care about her rap career anymore. Well, she tried to release some songs. They went nowhere. And she's a completely different person than what she portrayed in her music when she's with Klay Thompson. But the message and the way that she portrayed herself, especially intergender relationships, it came off venomous. It was like she was a hater, right? Like she hated the opposite sex, which is very, very different from a Sexyy Red. Like she's like, F my baby daddy, but she's also throwing it back, but she's also trying to have fun. And you can also see this because Sexyy Red is one of the few female rappers that male rappers constantly want to collaborate with or just hang out with. And no, they're not all cracking Sexyy Red. I think, like for example, Drake. I don't think Drake has ever cracked Sexyy Red. He probably doesn't want to. I don't even know. We're not going to get into meat watching. But my point is that he just thinks she's entertaining. She's funny to him, she's cool, and she's not necessarily trying to get anything out of him. So that's probably why he worked with her. Chief Keef, for instance. Now, Sexyy Red was for sure like very, very into Chief Keef. She's lusted after Chief Keef. She's made that known on Twitter X, but they're cool. I don't know what the hell happened between them. Not interested in finding out. But a lot of other male rappers, they're not hanging around female rappers like that. They don't respect female rappers, number one. And if there is a song that was made, it was just business. And they were like, okay, they paid me to do this feature. But with a Sexyy Red, they want to hang around her. So the likability comes from a little bit of jovial nature, you could call it, from Sexyy Red. Now, for this song, I don't think it should have gotten this much attention. Now, if she actually tried to put this out, that would be a different story. This was just a studio recording. This was not a snippet. This was nothing. And I do think that Sexyy Red did this. I don't know if she did this intentionally because Yachty put this out, but I do think this is great because keep in mind, this is how she blew up. She would rage bait a ton of people, and then a slight amount of people from that huge rage bait crowd of like, let's say 1 million, they're like, yo, I kind of like this chick. Oh, this song kind of catchy. Like, dog, she blew up with my pea pink, my booty old brown. And people are like, what the hell is this? There's no way this is going anywhere. And that was 3-4 years ago. How many years ago was that? Maybe even, was that 5 years ago? Time flies really, really quickly. And then she had hit after hit. Now, what did flop was when they tried to pair her up with Bruno Mars. That did not go anywhere. I don't know why they thought that was gonna hit. But yeah, and she's got like some sort of independent label situation. So Sexyy Red works. And you could say like Cupcake was the first one to really, really run with this. Yeah, let's not try to bring it back to the 90s and do the whole Lil Kim thing. But Cupcake was on this type of timing, maybe just a little bit less. Well, Cupcake was from Chicago, was she not? Yeah, Cupcake was doing her own thing too. She just never hit big like Sexyy Red, because this is also another thing. Sexyy Red is the equivalent of a drill rapper. So when we get a Slim Jesus, you're looking at this guy like, yo, this guy's rapping that drill stuff, but he's not living it at all. And he says he's a fraud. Man, this music is not hitting like that. That's the same thing with these chicks that are claiming to be like, oh, use a man. I don't need men. I have a bunch of dudes rolling around. And then you've got situations like, or you got people like JT. You've got the other girl from the City Girls who her name escapes me. Young Miami. Yes, Young Miami. And you've got Megan Thee Stallion. Let's just take those 3 examples off the rip. And you've even got a Glorilla. So what do all of those have in common? Well, they all got a man. Well, Young Miami, she was with Southside for a while, and she had a kid, that whole situation. But from Southside, she went to Diddy, and she was not on that same type of timing. Glorilla, I think she's with Brandon Ingram. I think Glorilla made more street music than like, oh, I'm street and I'm throwing it back for everybody. She would have some raps like that, but not so much. Megan Thee Stallion, allegedly she was throwing it out to everybody. I mean, even Blueface said he hit, and Tory Lanez, and I think DaBaby. So that's 3 off rip right there. And I think I forgot the other one. Coi Leray maybe? But Coi Leray's in another relationship now. The point is, they get into relationships. Sexyy Red, we haven't seen her in a single real relationship. So when you see these girls that talk about, oh, I'm just using guys, I'm running through them, I've got a roster, you're like, well, where is your roster? How many people are you hanging around? You're fake. You're a fake drill rapper. You're a fake rapper. But Sexyy Red, She's talking that talk. She's throwing it around. You see her with different rappers. You see her saying F my baby daddy. You see her get pregnant. You see a tape release of her. Like, yes, an explicit tape drops and she's like, yeah, it is what it is. She has a kid and then she's with rappers after that. Well, you don't see her in an official relationship. You don't see her booed up. She's living her raps. And I think that's what makes you say, like, damn, you at least got to respect that, even if it's just top flight degeneracy. Because what's worse? A degenerate that's living it and embodying it and has like a clean spirit at heart, or somebody with a venomous spirit that's pushing the degeneracy but living a completely different life behind the scenes. One's a hypocrite and one's not. And I think that just goes to show, because JT, Young Miami, they ditched their rap careers. Well, JT's actually, she's tried in the past year. She's actually doing her thing. Yeah, let me not take that away from her. Megan Thee Stallion, I think she's willing to fall back. And Glorilla, she's still doing her thing. So no shots at Glow. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you think this was completely overblown or what? Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see you on the next one.